Alright, good morning here. So this is a toy car which is rubber band powered, as you can see here. So mainly this toy we only use the ice cream sticks, and to hold it together we use a hot glue gun, cable ties to secure the tires, and a clip here. So we use razors in the side, as you can see, so like we can detach it, because I'm afraid that the rubber band might wear off after some time. So you can use scissors to cut off the cable tie and change a new rubber band on it. Okay, so for this toy car, we have this, you can introduce three concepts. First one is we can ask the students to identify the form of energy, which is elastic potential energy from the rubber band. When we wound up, when we release it, it's kinetic energy. These two forms of energy, students can identify from it. Secondly, they can also explain the process of energy conversion and also bring in the concept of conservation of energy, which is like energy can't be created nor destroyed. It only transforms from one form to another. So students can understand that when we are wound up, the energy is stored. After when we release it, it's a motion of energy, which energy is transformed from one form to another. Lastly, we also can apply the concept of Newton's third law, which each reaction, there's a opposite direction of it. Like when we pull this to this direction, there's an equal amount of force released in this direction. So this is the three concepts they want to bring in by using this toy. So besides of these three concepts, we can also use an experiment, which is the example of experiment is here. Students can manipulate the number of rubber band coiled from the toy car. So there's a red mark here. So the number of times you coil this, like for say we wanted students to coil it 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. And we want students to like mark the distance. And when we call 5 turns, again, we want students to mark the distance as well. We want students to understand how does the number of rubber bands coiled in the toy car affects the distance traveled by the car. So this is the only experiment that we are focusing. But when the toy car is detached, so when the toy car is detached, we can also introduce another experiment, which is mass. We can bring in mass, the concept of mass. How does it affect the speed of the toy car? So the way you manipulate is you change the number of marbles inserted in this container. So it will also affect the speed of the car. And also we can manipulate the number of rubber band used, which you can bring in another experiment. They can cut out this cable tie and include like 2 or 3 rubber bands. And also same thing, you can mark the distance traveled by the car. And lastly, you can also bring in the friction force, the concept of frictional force, because you can run this toy car under a different surface. You can put it on rough surfaces, smooth surfaces. So you can bring in different experiments with just one toy car, and students can keep on understand how it is used in different experiments. Do you have any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
I mean, like, what makes your product unique from other products? I mean, like, I've seen this quite many times.
All right.
So maybe there's a new thing that you bring in to your product.
New thing.
Something else.
Uniqueness is I believe that we can bring in different experiments with just one toy car, and we can change it up by using the cable. That's the reason why I use a cable tie without like hot glue gun it. So we can manipulate the number of rubber bands, and also we can bring in different elements to the toy car and make it versatile.
And then so the other thing that we can do is, alright, so as you can see here, this was our design, designed by the beautiful Mei. Alright, so usually in mathematics and science subjects, students tend to think it's a very straightforward subject. No BS, as they say, right? So with that, they think it's a stressful subject. So how can we de-stress them? So maybe you can ask them to, okay, this is the outline of your car, design your own car. Design it. You can have the ball, you can have your family to pitch in their ideas, you can have your siblings to just design this head, and then maybe you can have a competition between your students, who has the most prettiest car, which one is the most efficient car. That's the thing that can give it
more fun elements into one.
Competitive element in it.
Yeah.